will be on the right side of the linebacker. The cornerbacks are Charlie Stukes and Jim Duncan. The safety men are Jerry Logan and Rick Volk. Jim O'Brien ready to kick off. Phil Wise is back deep along with Farris for New York, and here we go, and the season is underway. A high end-over-ender coming right down into the goal post. Taken on the goal line by Phil Wise, comes out to the 10 to the 15. Wise to the 20, Wise to the 25. Wise is ridden out of bounds on about the 20-yard line by Sam Haverlack. Woodall has John Riggins, a rookie from Kansas, along with Emerson Boozer in the backfield. Matt Snell is on the sideline today in street clothes, and we'll tell you more about Matt a little later on. First play of the game. Woodall calls it for New York. Woodall hands off to Riggins. Riggins hit at the line of scrimmage, tries to break the tackle, gets to the 29 and runs into Bubba Smith, and that's as far as he goes. He hit the middle, and the hole was plugged. He spun to the outside, and he still managed to pick up a yard before Bubba Smith could stop him. It'll be second down and 9 to go.
Well, they're ready. There's some hitting out there, and you can see the enthusiasm. I can't envision a bigger game, a more important game for either club this year. This is the game where they want to establish something. The Colts, that they still have that good club, and that the Jets can do it without Joe Namath.
Now John Schmidt comes out over the ball. Maynard going to the right, Castor wide to the left. We have just started in Baltimore. Al Woodall calling signals. Woodall takes the snap, and he hands off to Riggins. Riggins coming to the left side, plowing his way out to the 35. Ray May, the left side linebacker, made the tackle with help from Jerry Logan coming up from the secondary. So Riggins, the big rookie from Kansas, at 237 pounds, 6'2", and a 9'7" man, picks up 5 big ones. It's third down and 3 yards to go in the 35. Maynard to the right. Third down call, 3 yards to go. Woodall barking signals for New York. The running backs are split. And a whistle, and the Jets, I believe, have taken too much time.
If the Jets can establish that running game, it's going to help Al Woodall tremendously with his passing game.
Woodall back to throw on third down. Swings one to Riggins on the 35, and that's as far as he goes. He gets to the 36, but he is short of the first down. He hit Riggins coming out of the backfield in the left flat. Mike Curtis, the little linebacker, put the tackle on, and the Jets will have to give up the football.
Already that penalty has hurt the Jets, and you'll remember, Merle, in the opening game last season out in Cleveland, the Jets were hurt tremendously by penalties. They had 161 yards called against them that day. It hurt, it probably lost the game. Today it hurt them again with that 5-yarder.
O'Neal back to punt on fourth down and 2. Here's the snap. O'Neal puts it in the air. Dunlap is back deep for Baltimore, and O'Neal hangs it high. And it's Dunlap on the 15. Dunlap stumbles, being chased by Arthur. And now Dunlap going to the far sideline is dumped on the 15. John Dockery made the tackle, a 50-yard punt by Steve O'Neal, who had a great average in the preseason games. And the ball is now spotted on the 16, and that's where the Colts will put it in play. Wide to the right, Perkins. Wide to the left goes Hinton. The tight end, John Mackey. Here's a slot to the right with Matty in the slot. A handoff to Bulaich. He breaks right through the middle for big yardage. Out to about the 24. And the tackle made by Ralph Baker. Norm Bulaich, the second-year man from TCU, had a great rookie season last year. A 9'6" man, by the way. He got 7 on the play. It'll be second down and 3 yards to go. Roger Finney, John Elliott, and Mark Lomas. The linebackers are Baker, Atkinson, and Grantham. Ferris, Obolus, and Holloman are the lead backs. The quarterbacks are Thomas and Tannen. Perkins going in motion to the left. Earl Morrill, the quarterback, pitches back to Bulaich. Gets a block. He picks up a first down. Goes to the 30. Finally falls on to the 31-yard line. Glenn Ressler gave him a great block. It looked like they had him pinned in. But Ressler got a block on the corner, and Grantham finally made the stop at the 31. It's a first down for the Baltimore Colts. So that's the first down of the afternoon. Ray Perkins coming out to the right. Eddie Hinton going wide to the left. John Mackey, the tight end, set up on the right side. The running backs are in close, Bulaich and Matty. And the quarterback, Morrill, hands off to Bulaich. He hits the middle and gets at the most a half yard. Jerry Philbin in to help stop the play. Let's see who's getting off the bottom. Roger Finney. Now a 2nd and 10 call. And wide receivers out both ways. A draw to Bulaich. Bulaich in the middle. Belts his way out across the 35 and goes to the 38-yard line. Al Atkinson and Larry Grantham stop the play. And somebody is getting up and can't get up, and that's Bulaich, who is injured. And timeout is called for the Baltimore Orioles. Bulaich trying to get up and is now hobbling, trying to get to the sideline. So Bulaich got about 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3, and that could, third down rather, and 3. That could be a very costly injury to the Baltimore Colts. So we have a timeout in Baltimore. And the score, the New York Jets nothing and the Baltimore Colts nothing. Well, we had a short timeout as Bulaich was taken off of the field, and Earl Morrill on the third down play has just hit Perkins for a 22-yard pickup and a first down to the Jet 40. Don Nottingham has come into the lineup, and he takes a handoff, goes right through the middle, running hard for about 3 to 4 yards. Jerry Philbin and Roger Finney are in on the tackle for New York. Nottingham also hit by John Elliott, who's on the bottom of the pile. Nottingham is a rookie from Kent State. He has replaced Norm Bulaich. A gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7 yards to go. The ball is now on the 37-yard line of New York. Now he brings Matty back to the right side, and Morrill has to call a timeout. He was going to get hit with a penalty. And they're going to line up with a full house tee in the backfield. Now they send Perkins in motion to the left. Morrill dropping straight back to pass. Swings one out of the left flat to Nottingham. Nottingham at the 40, 35, down to the 30, puts his head down and dives to the 26. Chris Farasopoulos and Larry Grantham and Al Atkinson in on the tackle. Bill Curry doing some blocking up front, and a gain of 12 yards puts the ball on the 26-yard line of the New York Jets. Hennon going to the left, Perkins to the right. Tannen coming out to play on the line of scrimmage with Ray Perkins. Early Thomas head-to-head with Henton on the far side. Morrill and a handoff to Matty. Matty is dumped by Gus Solomon. Up from the secondary along with Jerry Philbin, and the ball is put down on the 25-yard line. So it's a gain of 1. Hinton left and Perkins right. The running backs are split wide. Morrill backpedaling to throw. He's in the pocket. He is throwing long for Ray Perkins, and it's incomplete. Steve Tannen had him well covered. The pass overshot Perkins by 6 or 7 yards, and Tannen was between Perkins and the ball all the way. Now it's third down and 10 on the 25-yard line of New York. No score. We have 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Morrill is now 2 out of 3 for 33 yards. Morrill is 37 years old in his 16th year of pro ball out of Michigan State. Perkins coming out wide to the right, Hinton going to the left. Third down and 9 on the 25-yard line of New York. On the wing to the left is Matty, backpedaling to throw is Morrill. Morrill's going to get in trouble, and he is swarmed into the Jets on the 30-yard line. The defense collapsed. And so the Jets, Mark Lomas and Jerry Philbin, throw Morrill for a 5-yard loss, and the kicking unit comes on with Jim O'Brien. This will be about a 37-yard attempt. Slight angle to the left at the hash mark. Morrill is staying in the hole. O'Brien, of course, kicked the 32-yard field goal that won the Super Bowl last year. He's a second-year man from Cincinnati. Now Morrill awaiting the snap. He'll hold at about the 37. Here's the snap, and the kick is on the way. He's got the distance, plenty of distance. It's good. And so there's a timeout on the field, and the score, the Baltimore Colts 3 and the New York Jets nothing. Getting ready to approach the ball. He comes forward, and downfield comes the football. A high end over ender. It's going to be taken by Farasopoulos on the 8. Farasopoulos to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and bumped out of bounds somewhere around the 30-yard line. Possibly the 31. Rex Kern, the former All-American at Ohio State, is a quarterback. Gets credit for the tackle. And going to the right, Don Maynard. The running backs are split wide, Riggins and Boozer. Here is a handoff to Riggins. Riggins coming into the middle, gets little, maybe a yard, possibly two. Fred Miller, the right tackle. And on the stop, Bubba Smith came in to lend a hand. So a 2-yard pickup makes it second down and 8. And so far, John Riggins has been the workhorse as Boozer has not handled the ball as yet.
And we mentioned that Baltimore is a defensive club. They have a very good front four, excellent linebackers. The safeties are good. If there is a weakness, it may be at the cornerback slot.
Boozer sets up on the wing left in the slot. Wide to the left is Castor. To the right is Maynard. That leaves Riggins. Woodall calls to play for New York. Woodall going back to throw. He throws for the sideline to Maynard. He's got him in the 40, and he is knocked out of bounds. Charlie Stukes got him out of bounds. He'll be short of a first down by about a half yard. Now the Jets will have a third down and short yardage play coming up. And this is one they've got to have. And Don Maynard stays on the sideline across the way. Gary Arthur comes in to replace him, which means the Jets will have two tight ends for a third down and short yardage call. Baltimore digs into the defense. Third down, about a half yard to go. Running backs are in fairly tight. Woodall calls the play, gives to Boozer. Boozer hit behind the line. I don't think he made it. He got back to about the line of scrimmage. Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker, in to make the tackle, and they'll call time, probably for a measurement, but from the point of where Jack Best, the referee, is standing, it looks like he's going to be short. They will not have a measurement. It is short. So the Jets fail on the third down call. We just have a report on Norm Bulaich. Hypertension to the left ankle. They think he'll be back in the ball game before this one is over. Going back deep, Dunlap, who is back at about the 10-yard line. Steve O'Neill, who kicked one for 50. Tom Curtis is also back for Baltimore, but he's up fairly close. O'Neill with 50 yards in his last punt, getting ready to put this one in the air. Here's the snap from center by Paul Crane. O'Neill with a lot of time. Puts it up high. Downfield it comes. And it is going to be Duncan at about the 11. He comes back to the 15. Now he reverses his field, and he runs into trouble, and John Little takes him down in the 15. So Dunlap bringing the ball back to the 15-yard line, and that's where the Colts will put it in play.
Improve the kickoffs and also a couple of new return men, and so far it's worked quite well for them.
Bulaich is back in along with Matty. Bulaich on the handoff, hit at the line of scrimmage, spins and turns and breaks tackles and gets to the 21-yard line. Bulaich shaking off Ralph Baker, finally pulled down by Philbin and Finney. And there's nothing wrong with that ankle, the way he was coming on. So Bulaich, who should have had about a yard, winds up getting 6. It'll be second down and 4. Baker had a hold of his shirt. Baker was on the ground, but he just couldn't pull him down. Second down and 4 yards to go for the Colts. Out of the huddle they come. Bill Curry is over the ball. Tackles are Vogel and Sullivan. The tight end is John Mackey. He's out on the left side. Wide to the left hand end, to the right is Perkins. Morrill calls it. Morrill gives to Matty. He is really popped on the line of scrimmage by Jerry Philbin. Roger Finney assisting, and I see big bad John Elliott getting down off the bottom. Finney really, or rather Philbin really sliced on that play. Third down and 4 yards to go. The ball still on the 21-yard line of Baltimore. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and the Colts are leading by a score of 3-0. Wide to the left goes Henton. To the right is Perkins. Tannen with Perkins head-to-head of the line of scrimmage, and on the other side, it is Thomas against Henton. Here is Morrill back to throw. Morrill throwing for Mackey, incomplete on the 37, and he had Mackey in a spot out there. Holloman was after him along with Atkinson. Mackey was open, but the pass just wasn't there. And it's fourth down, and David Lee comes in to do the kicking for Baltimore.
They had problems at the time they played.
Lee puts it way up in the air. Bell to the 29. Bell trying to reverse his field is thrown back at the 24. A great kick by David Lee of 51 yards. And we have a timeout on the field, and the score, the Baltimore Colts 3 and the New York Jets nothing. Now the Jets come out of the huddle at the 24-yard line. Al Woodall calling signals. Wide receivers out both ways. Woodall barks the play. Woodall gives off to Boozer. Boozer swing to the right behind Rasmussen, is hit by Curtis and gets to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker, got Boozer down at the line of scrimmage. In fact, now they're going to mark about, nope, it's going to go right back to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 10 yards to go. We pause briefly for station identification on the Jet Set Network. Castor coming out wide to the left. Maynard going to the right. The running backs are in close. Boozer and Riggins. Al Woodall is the quarterback. John Schmidt is over the ball. A second down call for Woodall. He goes back to pass on the second down. He looks and he throws to Riggins coming out of the backfield. Riggins goes to the 30 and is finally pulled down by 3 men. Charlie Stukes had a hold of him but couldn't get him down. Mike Curtis came over to help him out. And then Ray May, the outside linebacker on the left side, moved in. Let's see where they spot the ball. It'll be just shy of the 30, it would appear. And that means a third down. About 5 yards to go. They put the ball near the 30-yard line. Woodall with the running backs in close. Calls the play. And we have contact on the line and the whistle's blown. Did the Jets move? The ends are in tight. The running backs are in fairly close. Castor is in close on the right side. Woodall calling signals. Third down and inches. Woodall takes the snap, gives to Boozer. Boozer is hit behind the line, but he gets forward for, I believe, enough for the first down. But it won't be by much. Jerry Logan from the secondary coming up to help out of the tackle. Rich Volk was also in there, but the Jets get the first down, but only by inches.
Yeah, I would have expected them to go over Bubba Smith. In the game plan anyway, they intended to run at Smith in a short yardage situation because everyone else on that defensive line stays low to the ground. Smith is the one guy, perhaps because of his height, 6'7" or 6'8", who does come up some, so they thought Winston Hill might be able to blow him out in short yardage situations.
Smith and Newsom have switched positions now with Smith in the middle as a tackle. Here's Woodall back to pass on first down. Woodall in the pocket, swings one to Riggins. Riggins on the 35, Riggins to the 40, puts his head down, rams his way out of bounds at about the 44. Charlie Stukes took him out of bounds, but he also needed some help. That Riggins is going to be a tough man to bring down one-on-one. Curtis, the middle linebacker, helps Stukes. And Riggins got 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Well, I said before that we'll probably see a great deal of that because Baltimore does use that zone defense, which prevents the bomb. It prevents the Jets from throwing to their wide receivers. So what they'll do is perhaps flood a zone, trying to bring the linebackers back, have them drop off quickly, and then Riggins was the second man out of the backfield into that flat area.
We're down to 1 minute 29 seconds. Riggins has caught 3 passes for 20 yards. 2nd down, a yard to go. Castor left, Maynard right. Woodall calls it for New York. Woodall fakes the draw, drops back to throw. He's got to go long for Rich Castor. Castor down there, and it's intercepted and dropped by Baltimore. Volk had the interception on the 11-yard line, but he couldn't hold it as Castor and Volk battle for the ball. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
The ball hung up in the air. It wasn't thrown behind Castor. However, he did have to slow down. He's got that great speed. It's hard to tell just how fast he is running. However, on that one, he did slow down. Rather than keep running at full speed and then have to stop and wait for the ball, he tried to time it. That gave the defensive back Volk time to catch up to Castor, and he almost intercepted.
Castor coming out wide to the left. Running backs are in close, slot to the left, and now Woodall calls the play. Woodall and a handoff to Riggins. Riggins puts his head down. He's not going to get the first down. Jerry Logan from the secondary making the tackle. He lost a yard on the play. Now it's 4th down and 2, and the Jets will have to give up the football. A final score, Dallas beat Buffalo 49-37. Atlanta beat San Francisco 20-17. New Orleans leading Los Angeles 10-3 at the end of 3 quarters. Back to kick goes Steve O'Neill. Going back deep is Dunlap for Baltimore. Here's the snap. O'Neill, who has had 2 beauties, puts this one up in the air. Dunlap waiting for it, takes it on the 11. Dunlap to the 15, right up the middle of the 20, and Mooring brings him down to the 25. So Dunlap brings the ball back, and now they mark it on the 26-yard line.
This is a usual procedure for the Colts. They think that Smith is perhaps their big gun. They want to test him over everyone, perhaps find a weakness.
Morrill back to pass on first down, throws to hit in the wide receiver left side. He gets out to the 45-yard line, is pulled down to the 46. Al Atkinson making the tackle with help from Farasopoulos. So Morrill goes to the air for 20 yards and a first down, and the gun sounds to end the first period. So there's the end of the first quarter and the score. The Baltimore Colts 3 and the New York Jets nothing. Now let's take a 60-second jet break for this announcement.
Same leg. He's got a problem with keeping up the strength in the calf for the Achilles tendon, trying to get the knee in shape. It's a tough assignment. He's just down a little bit at this point.
Morrill on the draw, gives to Bulaich. Bulaich coming into the middle, gets about 5 big ones to the 49-yard line. Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker, is under the tackle for New York. It looked like Bulaich was running into his own blockers. Ralph Baker, the left side linebacker, was also in on the stop. But Bulaich got 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. In the first quarter, Baltimore had 3 first downs, so the Jets won. Morrill hit 3 out of 5 passes for 57 yards, and Woodall hit 4 for 5 for 26 yards. Now Baltimore back into the huddle. The Jets, by the way, will have 23 players who have not played more than 2 seasons on the roster right now. Hinton to the left. Perkins to the right. Morrill backpedaling to throw. 2nd and 6. Morrill looking. Morrill throwing back over the middle, incomplete. Perkins is claiming pass interference. He got tangled up with Farasopoulos, but I believe in that case it was more Perkins tripping over Farasopoulos than anything else. And so it's 3rd down and 6. Big John Mackey, the tight end, lines up on the left side. Perkins in the slot right. Now comes back in motion to the left. Eddie Hinton wide to the other side. Morrill back to pass on 3rd down. He is throwing for Mackey, and he threw too low. Incomplete. Roger Finney was putting on a big rush for New York, and Morrow might have had to unload sooner than he wanted. But it looked like that ball might have slipped on him, too. It is 4th down and 6 on the 49 of Baltimore, and David Lee comes in to do the kicking. A 6-year veteran from Louisiana Tech. Here's the snap, and a low one, but he gets it away, and there again, sails it high into the air. Fair Sobel is fair catch, taking it on about the 7 to 8 yard line. So that puts the Jets in a hole. Here in the second quarter, there's a timeout on the field and a score. The Baltimore Colts 3 and the New York Jets nothing. Deep in their own territory on the 8 yard line, and it's raining a little harder now. Wide to the left goes Castor, to the right is Maynard. The running backs are split wide, John Riggins and Emerson Boozer. Al Woodall, the quarterback, now sets the running backs in close. Woodall calls the play. Woodall hands off to Boozer. Boozer hits the left side on a slant, spins out across the 10, gets to about the 12, running behind Dave Herman, and Ray May, the left side linebacker, stops the play for Baltimore with help from Ted Hendricks, the right linebacker. Now we'll wait to see where they put the ball down. In fact, they're not putting it down. They're going to hold it as long as they can and keep that ball dry. Finally, it's put down near the 12. Lammons a tight end to set on the right side. Baltimore's defensive line digs in. Woodall calling signals. Woodall back to throw. Woodall throwing sideline to Castor. Couldn't hold the ball on the 18. He was covered out there by Jim Duncan, the right cornerback. And now it's a 3rd down and 6 for New York.
Hard to tell from our angle, but it looked as if Castor could have held on to the ball. He had very good sideline position, and the ball seemed to be on target. The Baltimore Colts have had some trouble with their receivers dropping passes also, Merle. This has been the story of Hinton this year, that he's been dropping quite a few.
Operating the ball club with the running back split wide, Emerson Boozer and John Riggins. Snell is on the sideline, will not see action next week either. Here's Woodall on the draw to Riggins. Riggins coming up the middle. Riggins going out to the 20. Riggins stays on his feet and gets to the 25. John Riggins for the first down, brought down by 2 men, Rich Bolt for 1, and Jim Duncan and John Schmidt doing a lot of blocking for Riggins' 13-yard gain and a first down, and that gives the Jets a little relief and some breathing room.
Woodall is mixing it up pretty good. The Jets don't have much yardage to this point, but he is mixing it, the running game and the passing game well. Throwing where he's supposed to, also short against this deep zone.
Wide to the right, Maynard. To the left is Castor. Lammons has gone to the left side. Woodall barks the play, goes back to throw. He's in the pocket. He throws for Castor, who slips and falls. He slipped on the 43-yard line, covered by Duncan. And this field is going to be miserable before too long, especially in the skin part of the infield. In fact, it has been raining in Baltimore all summer, you might say. The Orioles, I believe, were rained out of about 14 games this year.
He's healthy, and he's certainly bright enough. All he needs now is experience and the confidence, and certainly a win over the Colts would do much along those lines.
Castor left, Maynard right, Woodall backpedaling to throw. He throws a screen to Boozer on the 20. Boozer at the 25, Boozer on his feet at the 30, and finally brought down at about the 32 by Ray May. Charlie Stukes had a shot at him on the 25, but he got away from him. Herman and Schmidt were out front of that screen, set for Boozer on the right side. And let's see where they spot the ball. At the 31. It'll be 3rd down, about 4 yards to go. Maynard coming to the right, Castor going wide to the left. Woodall barks the play. Riggins and Boozer, the setbacks, they're in close. Woodall is backpedaling to throw. He looks, he throws to Riggins coming out of the backfield at the 30. Riggins at the 35, tries to get that first down. I believe he has it. He is thrown back across the 35 to the 33. Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker, had him. But Riggins, who I think was short of a first down when he caught the ball, got forward enough to get across the 35 and get the first down on the 36-yard line. So this big guy has been a workhorse today. He broke all of Gale Sayers' rushing records at KU. 2,706 yards.
Not only does he run well, but he blocks well, and now he's been holding on to the ball as a pass receiver, too.
Maynard right, Castor left, first down on the Jet 36. Schmidt is over the ball. Back to throw goes Woodall. He's in the pocket. He throws over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Pete Lammons on the 49. May and Curtis were covering. And it's 2nd and 10 on the 36 of New York. By the way, in preseason play this year, neither team had impressive records. The Colts were 3-4, including a win over the College All-Stars. They also beat the Chicago Bears and Washington Redskins. but they lost to Kansas City, Detroit, Dallas, and Oakland. The Jets, on the other hand, beat the Giants and the New England Patriots and lost to Detroit, Oakland, Kansas City, and Pittsburgh. Second down and 10 on the 36. In the slot left is Lamons as he splits wide. Way out on the other side of him is Castor, Maynard to the right. Woodall, second and 10, backs up to throw. They might get to him. He unloads the ball. It's incomplete, intended for Pete Lamons. Roy Hilton had a real good rush on Woodall and dumped him, and Al had to get rid of the ball. And now it's raining harder. Before that pass, Woodall, well, let's see, is now 6 for 11 for 38 yards. Riggins has caught 26 yards of those passes, and it's raining at a pretty good clip now in Baltimore with a third down 10 coming up for the Jets on the New York 36.
You've got to give good pass protection. Woodall didn't have it on the last one.
Castor left, Maynard right, third down and 10 on the 36 of New York. Woodall backpedaling, Hilton trying to get to him. Here's a screen over the middle to Riggins. Riggins at the 35, 40. Riggins is out to the 42, but he can't get the first down. He drags Mike Curtis for a couple of yards, but he is short of a first down. And it'll be fourth down about 3. So the Jets work their way out of the hole from their own 8 to the 43, but now the Colts have held, and the Jets will have to give up a football on the fourth kick today by Steve O'Neill. Going back deep is Leonard Dunlap, along with Tom Curtis. Steve O'Neill takes the snap, and the kick is away, and downfield it comes, and it's going to be Dunlap on the run on the 20. Dunlap to the 25. He's got daylight, 30, 35, and he cuts. He's in the open now. Now he is down to the 40, down to the 35. Pulled out from behind by O'Neill. What about the 25-yard line of New York? Tremendous return by Dunlap. Steve O'Neill, who kicked the ball, finally made the tackle. In the slot to the right is Perkins. Bulaich and Matty are the setbacks. Now Perkins in motion to the left. Earl Morrill, the quarterback, calling signals. Morrill with a handoff to Matty, coming back to the left side. And Matty is going to be hit by Atkinson behind the line of scrimmage. So the loss on the play will be about 3, depending on where they spot the ball.
Kick them off deep. They've got Farasopoulos and Wise now to return them. They never figured on a weakness in coverage.
Morrill looked like he was faking a draw. Now goes back to throw. Throws a wobbly pass. It's incomplete on the goal line. Intended for Hinton. He was covered by Early Thomas. Now that was either some super faking by Morrill, but it must have been because Hinton broke to the post. But Morrill faked as if he were going to use the draw, but there was nobody there to fake to. It is third down and 14 yards to go for Baltimore.
Pass was underthrown by about 5 yards. Fortunate for the Colts that it wasn't intercepted.
Perkins going to the left. Eddie Hinton coming wide, or rather Perkins to the right. Eddie Hinton wide to the left. Now in motion, Matty backpedaling as Morrill. He looks, he throws for Perkins, and he is down to the 10, the 5. He is down to the 1. He may have got in. The defender, Gus Holloman, slipped and fouled as he tried to make his cut. And the slippery turf sent Holloman to the ground, and it's a first and goal on the 1-yard line.
That's the old story, Merle. Who benefits most from a wet field? Does it help the receiver or the defender? Most people think that the receiver has the advantage simply because he knows where he's going. They can't take the free steps and the sharp cuts. They have to have the rolling or looping patterns.
27-yard pickup and a first and goal. Here is Morrill, quarterback sneak. I don't think he made it. Right side of the line, Elliott, Penny, Lomas, Grantham, Atkinson, they all stop to play. Second down and goal to go. Now Baltimore coming out in an I. With Bulaich up close and Matty deep, and Morrill calls signals. He gives to Matty. Matty dives. He's in. Touchdown. And the Colts go ahead by a score of 9-0. So Tom Matty scores it for Baltimore. And the Colts go 24 yards on 5. Make that 29 yards. 29 yards on 5 plays. Now the extra point try by O'Brien with Morrill in to hold. Here's the snap, and the kick is on the way. It's good. And so the Colts have picked up the first touchdown of the game, and with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half, there's a timeout on the field and a score. The Baltimore Colts 10, the New York Jets nothing. The Jets have Farasopoulos and Wise back deep, and O'Brien is ready to kick off. Colts leading by a score of 10-0. The rain has let up a little bit. Here's O'Brien forward. Downfield comes the ball. It's sailing. And it is going to Farasopoulos on the goal line. He's out to the 10, to the 15. Farasopoulos to the 20, hurdles the tackler, and goes out to about the 25. Corny Johnson made the tackle.
Of course, that's the match that occurred in the Super Bowl when Dave Herman did such a fine job in moving out to right tackle to handle Bubba Smith.
Maynard right. Castor left. Woodall calls the play. Woodall backpedals to throw. Woodall has some time. Throws to Riggins. Incomplete. Too high. Riggins covered by Duncan. And Bubba Smith was on the charge, but he took a pretty good shot from somebody that knocked him off Woodall. Second down and 10 yards to go. The ball on the 25 of New York.
Yeah, Bubba had moved over John Schmidt on the last one, the offensive center for the Jets, and they double-teamed him. Dave Herman helping Schmidt. He doesn't like to be cut. Like most big, tall, rangy guys, they're vulnerable around their knees, and of course this was the reason that the Baltimore Colts moved Bubba Smith from defensive tackle out to defensive end as a rookie.
Maynard going to the right, Castor out to the left. Woodall barks the play on 2nd and 10, and there's contact on the line, and the whistles go down. Let's see. Who's at fault this time? Illegal procedure indicated against New York. That'll cost the Jets 5 and be second down and 15. Second down and 15 on the 20. Woodall going back to pass, and he is being rushed by Bubba Smith. There's a flag down. Woodall running the ball. Woodall up to the 23 and is dumped by Duncan. Bubba Smith had a hold of Woodall, and Al spun him off. Now let's see what the penalty is about. Holding against New York. So now the Jets are hit with another penalty. And if Baltimore takes it, it'll be half the distance. The Colts are discussing it right now. Eddie Bell is coming in for New York. Now the Jets have a second down and 28 yards to go. Eddie Bell to the right, Rich Castor wide to the left. The Colts defense has really been tough in this quarter. Woodall calling signals. Woodall takes the snap, gives to Riggins on the draw. Riggins coming up the middle for 5. Gets a little more than that. He bangs his way out to about the 15. Ray May and Ted Hendricks, the outside linebackers, and Roy Hilton, the right end, make the tackle for Baltimore. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like it'll be at the 15. And that would be a gain of 8, 9. They put the ball at the 16. Wide to the left, Castor. To the right is Don Maynard, who is back in for Eddie Bell. The running backs are split. Lamons is in tight on the right side as the tight end. Here is a handoff to Riggins. He's hit behind the line on the 14. Roy Hilton is in there. And the Jets will have to give up the football. So he lost a couple. 4th down and 20. And Steve O'Neill will kick from near his own goal line. WTRY-FM Albany. Is up on the 50. Dunlap is back on the 35 of Baltimore. O'Neill will really need a good kick here on a wet ball to get the Jets out of the hole. Here's the snap. And he's got time. He puts it up in the air. It's end over end. A fair catch called for and taken on the 48-yard line by Dunlap. On the 48-yard line of Baltimore. So there's a timeout on the field, and the score of the Baltimore Colts 10, the New York Jets nothing. Eddie Hinton going wide to the right, and the slot right is Perkins on the wing. Comes back in motion to the left now on the move. And Morrow calls the play, and he hands off to Bulaich. He goes banging into the middle, and he crosses the midfield stripe and goes to the 46 of New York. Stopped by Al Atkinson and Roger Finney, and John Williams and Bill Curry opened up that middle, but good. So the Colt offensive line is really firing out. A gain of 6 to make it second down and 4, and Bulaich is still running hard, just like he did last year.
Yeah, he was supposed to have great speed. I've never seen the speed, Merle. I don't think anybody else has seen the blinding speed, but he's tough. He runs hard.
Now it's raining harder. Here is Hinton setting up in the backfield, coming in motion, and a handoff to Bulaich. Bulaich breaks into the open on the right side, and Gus Sullivan pulls him down from behind to the 24-yard line of New York. Dan Sullivan opening the hole that time on the left side of the Jet defensive line, and it is really pouring now. A first down for the Colts. Let's see, let's check. There's no yard marker left hardly, but let's try to line it up at the 28-yard line of the Jets. And it's first down for Baltimore. A final score, the Giants beat Green Bay 42-40. Wow. Hinton going wide to the left. Perkins in the slot left. Morrill, the quarterback, calling the play. He hands off to Bulaich. Bulaich breaking tackles in the middle and diving over the 25 to the 24. John Elliott making the stop. Help from Grantham. And Bulaich is running like there's nobody there. Bulaich has picked up 61 yards already. Hinton to the left. Perkins to the right. Morrill calling signals. A driving rain. A handoff to Maddie, and Maddie hits the middle for a couple. Maddie is stopped by Larry Grantham. John Elliott is also in on the tackle for New York. Roger Finney gets an assist, and Mark Lomas is in there too. Bulaich is back in.
It's really pouring, and even as the quarterback drops back, it's got to get wet. It's got to be drenched in midair if he passes.
Morrill on a pitch on a reverse with Mackey coming around. He's down to the 20 and is knocked out of bounds inside the 20, but he's got a first down. Larry Grantham making the tackle, a reverse with Mackey, the tight end coming around carrying the ball. And there's the little trick that Don McCafferty had in store for the Jets, apparently. He always comes up with something for everybody, just to give them something to think about. Here's Hinton going to the right, Perkins in the slot right, 1st and 10 on the Jet 15. Here is a handoff to Bulaich. Bulaich hitting the middle and is dragged down by Jerry Philbin and Roger Finney with an assist from Al Atkinson. Bulaich getting 2, possibly 3. The Colts lead by a score of 10-0. 2:45 left to go in the first half. The Jets have had lots and lots of trouble getting out of their own end of the field today.
During this preseason, they gave up only 78.7 yards rushing. The Colts probably have much more than that already.
Morrill going back to pass on second down. He slips but gets the pass away, and a dive and an incomplete pass on the goal line by Eddie Hinton, the intended receiver. Made a dive for the ball. Now it's 3rd down, and it is really pouring. The monsoon season is on in Baltimore. Thomas comes out to play Hinton head-to-head of the line of scrimmage. Tannen's going to lay off Perkins on the far side. Morrill backpedaling to throw 3rd down. Morrill throwing incomplete. Threw it way back into the end zone.
That slipped out of his hand because of the rain.
And he also slipped going down, and let's see who's getting up slowly. That is Williams. John Williams up very slowly, but apparently is all right. Jim O'Brien in for the field goal attempt. We have 2 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first half here in Baltimore, and the Colts are leading by a score of 10-0. O'Brien has already kicked one, a 37-yarder. This will be from the 22. Morrill holding, or thereabouts when I say 22. The markers are gone in that area. Just about in the middle of the field. Here's the snap, and the kick is on the way, and it's right up the middle. A 22-yard field goal. So O'Brien puts 3 more points on the board for the Baltimore Colts, and the Colts are now out in front by a score of 13-0, and we're down to 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first half, as Baltimore moved out 52 yards on 10 plays and got the field goal. Here comes O'Brien. Downfield comes the football. It's a good one, an end-over-ender. It's going to be taken by Wise on about the 2. Wise to the 15. Wise to the 20. Slips and falls. He tried to make a cut just as he was getting hit by Nottingham. So it's going to be a game of slippery football, it looks like, from here on out. We have a timeout now for the 2-minute warning. Here come the Jets. 1st down on the 20-yard line. Castor to the left, Maynard to the right on the short side of the field. Riggins and Boozer the setbacks. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. The Jets trail by 13. Woodall, a handoff to Boozer on a draw. No hole in the middle. Tries to go to the outside. Runs into Mike Curtis, the middle linebacker. And Curtis throws him all the way back about the 15, but they'll mark at about the 19. Fred Miller assisting on the tackle. He's the right tackle for Baltimore. 2nd down, 11 on the 19-yard line. We're down to 1 minute 37 seconds to go in the first half. Maynard to the right, Castor to the left. John Schmidt is over the ball. The running backs are split. Woodall calling signals. Woodall, there's a fumble, and Boozer falls on it as Woodall and Boozer bump together. And a loss of about 2 more yards. Ted Hendricks covered the play immediately. So it's a minute left to play. Well, the surprises continue in the scores today. The New Orleans Saints, who did not win a game in preseason play, beat the Los Angeles Rams 24-20.
I still can't believe the Oakland Patriots score. Perhaps Oakland has the wrong slant in going out like Kansas City to win every exhibition game.
By the way, we have 2 scores on that New Orleans game. We'll double check for you. Receivers out both ways. A handoff to Boozer. Boozer hit from behind the line, loses the tackler, and picks up a couple of yards, and that's about all. Billy Newsom had a hold of him, but Hilton finally made the stop. Boozer got the yardage back lost on the previous 2 plays. It is 4th down and 10, and the Jets will have to give up the ball. With 19 seconds left, the Colts have called a timeout to stop the clock. O'Neill back to punt. Dunlap is deep for Baltimore. He's in the muddy part of the skinned infield. Here's the snap, and O'Neill gets the kick away, and this is a good one. Hanging up high, and Duncan is going to take the ball to the 38, and he gets a block. He cuts to the grass on the near side, is dumped at about the 44. Haverlack gave him a real good block on Zapalak coming downfield. Gus Hollowan made the tackle at about the 48-yard line of, wait a minute, the 45-yard line, let's call it, of Baltimore. We're down to 9 seconds in the first half. 9 seconds to go. Hennon to the left. Ray Perkins to the right. Earl Morrill at quarterback. Colts lead 13-0. Could be the last play of the first half. Morrill on the draw, gives to Bulaich. Bulaich, hurdling tacklers, very strong, gets to the 49. Brought down by Mark Lomas. And now the clock has run out, and the gun sounds. So the first half has come to an end here in Baltimore. And the score, the Baltimore Colts 13, the New York Jets nothing. Tied up. Buffalo and Boston have improved, and the fact that the Baltimore Colts and the Jets may have lost just a little bit, and Miami is right up there with them now. O'Brien's kickoff, end over end to Ferrisopoulos on the 5. Ferrisopoulos to the 15, to the 20. He's in the mud. He slips and cuts and now is knocked down in the mud. Oh, what a quagmire. Well, let's see. Now to try to figure out where the ball is. We'll do it by process of elimination. About the 27-yard line. Wide to the left, Castor. To the right is Maynard. The Jets have only been in Baltimore territory once. That's when they recovered the fumble on the third quarter kickoff. Return. Woodall going back to pass on first down. Woodall planting his foot, throwing, and he hits Lyman's a tight end at the 40. Lyman's to the 45. Barrels his way up to the midfield stripe. Charlie Stukes made the tackle. Volk helping out. So it's a first down on the midfield stripe, and that's a 23-yard pickup for New York.
They'll probably continue to throw to Lamons and those setbacks. Baltimore really drops back quickly into the deep zone.
Castor wide to the left, Lamons split wide left in the slot, wide to the right goes Maynard. Woodall going back, rush is on, Woodall in the pocket, he's got to run, he's got trying to move now, he throws safety valve to Boozer. Boozer at the 45 in his own territory, crosses midfield and goes to the 48. Chased out by May. So the ball will be, there's a flag on the play, however, back on the 35-yard line of Baltimore. Personal foul against New York. See, it sounds like Cleveland last year all of a sudden. So the Jets will be whacked for a major penalty. To the left is Castor. And to the right is Don Maynard. First down for the Jets. Long yardage, 26 big ones to go. Woodall calling signals. Woodall backpedals to throw. Being rushed. He's got to get hit back there by Hilton. Roy Hilton nails Woodall for a loss inside the 25. Now they spot the ball just across the 25. Now the Jets have a third down and 35 coming up. Wide to the left, Castor. To the right is Maynard. Third down and 35. Colts lead 19-0 in the third quarter. Woodall going back. Big rush on again. And here's the screen set as Riggins over the middle takes the pass, trying to break May's tackle, and May gets him down. They didn't get too much on that one. Ray May, the left side linebacker, on the tackle for Baltimore. And if they got much yardage, it couldn't be more than one at the most. Let's see where they put the ball down. That's about what, now they got 2 yards. Third down and 32. Maynard wide to the right. Lamons a tight end is set up on the right side. Ted Hendricks, the linebacker, up playing against Lamons. Here's a whistle as the Jets might be late again. So they bring the ball to the line of scrimmage and start walking off more yardage against the Jets, which will make
4 people rushing, and the Jets had 5 offensive linemen plus the 2 setbacks. Neither setback went out on a flare pass or on a pass route. This is why Woodall had no one to unload the ball to. The 3 deep receivers, the tight end and the 2 wide receivers, were well covered.
Steve O'Neill back to do the punting. He's standing on his own goal line. Fourth down and 46. Here's the kick. Downfield it comes. End over end. It's going to be taken on the fly by Duncan. There's a flag on the play as Curtis, brings that ball back. And he returns it from about the 45-yard line to the 40. Now let's see what the flag is about. Tom Curtis, the short man, took that end over end punt. Now it looks like the Colts are going to get hit with a major penalty. A 41-yard kick by Steve O'Neill. And the walk-off is taking the ball into Baltimore territory at about the 42, and that's where the Colts will be operating from. Earl Morrow brings the Colts up to the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers out both ways. Morrow barks the play, and he hands off to Bulaich, who hits the middle for about 3 to the 45. Larry Grantham, the right linebacker, making the tackle for New York. New York Jets football is produced by and through the facilities of WOR AM radio in New York, the flagship station of the New York Jets radio network.
To give the Jets the short 2 and 3 yard passes to the setback. So really it's the total yardage that probably is most important.
Here's Perkins in motion, the draw to Matty, and Matty is hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's as far as he gets. Al Atkinson, the middle linebacker, Ralph Baker, and John Elliott are on tackle for New York. So it's now third down, about 7.5 yards to go. And Steve Tannen are the cornerbacks. Everybody up close. Here is Perkins coming in motion to the right. Morrow calling signals. Morrow backpedaling to throw. Morrow looking. Morrow throwing one out to Mackey on a delay, and Mackey is hit behind the line for a yard loss. John Mackey, I was looking for blockers. Farasopoulos stopped the play to see if that was a tight end screen. But something went wrong, and so the loss takes the ball back to make it a 4th down 11.
Well, that shows us, tells us something about Farasopoulos. Mackey is quite a guy to take down on a one-on-one situation, and that's exactly what we had out there, and Farasopoulos did the job.
David Lee, who has kicked for 51 and 43 yards, puts one in the air, and a flag goes down. Baltimore's going to keep the ball. Eddie Bell, fair catch on the 18. A punt by Lee, and he was hit as he got that punt away, and the Jets are going to be penalized for roughing the kicker. John Elliott, I believe, was the man who was flagged down.
Today they're being outplayed, and they're piling the penalties and the miscues on top of that.
Here's a slot left, and a handoff goes to Bulaich. Bulaich breaking into the open once again, and it's pulled down by Jerry Philbin, but not until after he turns across the 40, all the way down near the 35-yard line. Norm Bulaich dragging tacklers. And the ball will be near the 35 in Jet territory. Oh, sure might be all right on the field right now, even. First down and 10. Wide receivers out both ways. Here's Morrill and a handoff to Matty. Matty running behind Williams, the right guard who pulls, swings around the left side, and is brought down by Lomas after he gets about 5. Tom Matty, the former Ohio State star in his 11th year with the Baltimore Colts. Second down, about 5 yards to go.
And he came in at 6'7" and an inch and a half heel.
Here's Bulaich hitting the right side off his own tackle. Maybe he picked up a yard. He was belted by John Elliott. And also by Farasopoulos, or let's see. Gus Welleman it is, who's up there. Scott Palmer also into the tackle. He got about a yard. Bulaich has now picked up 157 yards. Unofficially. Perkins going to the left in motion. Here's a handoff to Bulaich. Up the middle he comes. They open the hole, and he bumps his way for a first down all the way down to the 20-yard line. Early Thomas making the tackle. Farasopoulos from the secondary to help out. Or are they opening the middle of that line with Dressler and Curry and Williams, Vogel and Sullivan. Vogel and Sullivan the tackles, Dressler and Williams the guards. Two minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The Colts are leading 19-0. Earl Morrill at quarterback. Morrill takes the snap. He gives to Matty. He's coming into the middle, and he's got yardage, a couple at least. John Elliott making the tackle. And Larry Grantham, the right linebacker, is also into the stop. Elliott, the last man up.
Jets, excuse me, Merrill. Possible job for the linebackers to come in and fill because they actually cut off their own people, the linebackers, as they're getting pushed back.
Here's a handoff to Matty, and the sweep is on to the right, being pursued by Ralph Baker and also by Gus Holloman, and Holloman gets him at about the 15-yard line. As Matty went out of bounds. Forced out by Holloman. Well, let's see what this will be. A yard picked up, and it's 3rd and 6, and Bulaich gets a big hand as he comes to the sideline. This tough Texan out of TCU at 218 pounds and 6'1" with explosive power and tremendous speed. A fumble on the second half kickoff return. Going in motion to the left is Perkins. Morrill backpedaling to throw, stumbles, but now swings that pass out to Nottingham, who's in. Nottingham puts his head down, rams his way for a couple of yards inside the 15. As Grantham had him out there on the corner, but Nottingham is brought down short of a first down, and Jim O'Brien comes in for the field goal attempt. He's kicked a 37-yarder and a 22-yarder today. 2 for 2. It's 4th down and 4 for Baltimore. This field goal will be from about the 20. All right, from the 20-yard line, angle left, near the hash mark. Jim O'Brien, ready. Earl Morrill is now set. Here's the snap, and the kick is on the way. It is good. 20-yard field goal. So there's a timeout on the field, and the score. The Baltimore Colts 22, and the New York Jets nothing. Well, I believe it stopped raining in Baltimore. But that may not last long either. Wise and Parasopolis are deep. Jim O'Brien getting ready to kick off for the Colts, who now lead 22-0 with 32 seconds to go in the third period. Here's O'Brien's kickoff. He belts it deep downfield and into the end zone, and Wise will not run it out. The Jets will take over on their own 20. Tight end Pete Lamons, wide to the right, Don Maynard. Woodall is going to have to back through that muddy area where the baseball pitcher's mound is. Woodall calling signals. He backs up to pass. He looks. He now throws for the sideline to Lamons, who catches the ball on one knee, a flag on the play. Lamons making the catch on the 30-yard line. And pass interference being called, and the indication is against New York.
Now, Rich Castor was in the area, Merle, and I think that he picked one of the Colts defensive backs. In other words, got between the Colts defensive back and Pete Lamons, and they're calling him for the interference.
Don Maynard to the right. The running backs are split. John Riggins and Emerson Boozer. Al Woodall calling signals. John Schmidt is out over the ball. Woodall on the draw to Riggins. Riggins trying to get to the outside. Can't. May really bangs him down on about the 10. Fred Miller had held him up, and then May came in for the kill. No gain. It'll be second down rather, in 20, and there's the gun ending the third period. So that's the end of the third quarter, and the score, the Baltimore Colts 22, the New York Jets nothing. Now let's take a 60-second jet break for this announcement. Al Woodall sending Maynard wide to the right, Castor wide to the left. The running backs are split. Woodall calls signals. Second down and 20. Woodall going back to pass from the end zone. Throwing for Lamons. Finds him up at about the 20, 25, 30. Lamons to the 35 and is stocked up at the 35-yard line. And Al Woodall really took a shot from Roy Hilton, the right end, as he let that ball go, and he hit his tight end Pete Lamons for a first down on the 35-yard line. Ted Hendricks made the tackle. A 24-yard pickup of the play.
And you've got your 5 offensive linemen and the 2 setbacks. The quarterback shouldn't be hit.
Wide receivers out both ways. Lamons sets up on the left side of the slot. Woodall barks the play. Woodall is backpedaling to throw. Hilton trying to get to him. He throws to Riggins, and Riggins couldn't hold the ball. It was almost intercepted by Curtis. And Curtis had the ball in his hands, but Riggins hit him while he was falling forward and shook the ball loose. That'll be 2nd and 10 now on the 35-yard line of the Jets.
I think that's the first pass I've seen Riggins drop. He was free, and the ball was thrown on target, but he's looked very good in catching the ball.
2-0 score. They have not been shut out since 1966 when Houston did it 24-0. Castor to the left, Maynard to the right. Lamons split to the left in the slot. Woodall 2nd and 10 makes his call. And Woodall back to pass. Safety blitz is on, and Logan nails him back on the 21-yard line. Jerry Logan on a safety blitz coming right through the middle, nailed Woodall. And you could see that one coming.
Yeah, again, the Jets had maximum protection on, but of course then you've got an extra man coming. Emerson Boozer did not read the blitz. He didn't see Logan coming up into a position where he could blitz the quarterback. Woodall was looking for Boozer.
They spot the ball on the 25, although Boozer was hit all the way back to the 21, and it's 3rd down and 20 now for New York. A moment ago, Woodall picked up the first down, going to Lamons. Let's see what he does this time. Woodall barks the play. Woodall on a draw to Boozer. Boozer is hit at the line of scrimmage, breaks the tackle, spins off another, stays on his feet, rams his way across the 30 to the 33, and Logan finally pulls him down. He almost got to the 34-yard line. Hendricks assisting on the tackle. But now the Jets are faced with a 4th down, about 12. As Boozer got 8 on the play. And the Jet defense gets ready to take over as Steve O'Neill will put the ball in the air. Ron Gardine has come in for Baltimore. He's back deep along with Curtis. Here's the snap. O'Neill puts the ball in the air. It's a good one. Sailing it downfield. Gardine will field it on about the 17 to the 20, up to the 24 or 5, and he slips in the mud there and goes down. He'll put that ball at about the 26-yard line, I believe. John Unitas has started to limber up down below us now. I don't know what that means. Could be he'll be on the next series. Here's Perkins coming in motion to the left. Morrow on a handoff to Bulaich. Bulaich swinging to the right is getting yardage. I don't know how he breaks those tackles, but he does. He's carrying guys with him, and he got about 4 to 5 yards, and Ralph Baker finally gets him down. So Bulaich, who has been the leading rusher for Baltimore today, puts 5 yards on his total. It'll be second down and 5 to go, and the ball is about the 32 of Baltimore. The running backs are Tom Mandy and Norm Bulaich. They're split. Morrow calls the play. Morrow in a handoff to Bulaich, running the slant. He's got blockers. He's got an opening. He's got some daylight, and he belts for big yardage across the 40 to the 43. Gus Sullivan and Ralph Baker make the tackle for New York. And Bulaich picks up a first down. He got somewhere about 12 to 13 yards on the play.
Now, they try to help each other out, but on each play, somebody is getting beaten, and the other people aren't compensating.
Here's a handoff to Mandy. He goes into the middle for a couple. Scott Palmer, the rookie from Texas, puts a shoulder into him, and Ralph Baker, the left linebacker, also on the tackle with Baker on the bottom. So Mandy gets 3. It'll be second down and 7. There's a slot right, and Perkins, who's in the slot, comes in motion back to the left side. Morrow, second down and 7, gives to Bulaich. Bulaich dancing, churning, getting yardage, close to a first down, pulled down by Elliott and Grantham. And Bulaich just won't quit. If he had a good rookie year last year, and he had a sensational year, he is off to an unbelievable start this year. Third down 2 for Baltimore.
Another discouraging aspect is that they're making the yardage where they intend to run. In other words, they call the play off tackle, they run off tackle, and there's a hole. It's not that the backs are picking up the yardage on their own. Just veer back and pick up the yardage on his own. They're not doing that today. They're opening up large holes in that defensive line.
Perkins in motion. Back to pass goes Morrow. He looks. He is throwing for hit. It is slipped. Goes down, and his defender Tannen also slipped. So did Early Thomas, who was in the area. Everybody was slipping on that one. But Hinton tried to hold up. And the ball went sailing over his head. Bulaich, unofficially, has run for 191 yards. It's a 4th down and 3, and David Lee is back to kick for Baltimore. Eddie Bell and Chris Barasopoulos are deep for New York. Here's the snap, and the kick is away. Not too much distance, though. Off the side of his foot, it bounces near the 25-yard line, rolls back to about the 27, where it's down by the Colts. Wide receivers out both ways. Davis calling signals. The Jets trail 22-0. Running backs are split. And there's a movement on the line as Bubba Smith and Billy Newsom come charging across. Whistle blows, and let's see what it's about. Offside Baltimore. That'll cost the Colts.
Right to the 1st and 10 club at 1414 Avenue of the Americas, New York, New York.
Well, the Colts have done it again. They jumped the gun and get hit with another 5 yards, and the Jets have made a first down without having to do anything, except going to the line of scrimmage. The ball is down the 38-yard line of New York. Don Schmidt is out over the ball. Bob Davis sending Eddie Bell to the left, Don Maynard to the right. The running backs are George Knock and John Riggin. Davis calling signals. Davis takes the snap, and he gives off to George Knock. He is met at the line of scrimmage by some very mean guys in blue shirts. Billy Newsom and Hilton. Now they're trying to separate them. They're really going at it down there. And who's involved? Everybody's involved. And the officials call timeout to let the tempers cool a little bit. The gain, none. Second down and 10. The knock got to the line of scrimmage, and that was all. Castor is back in. He's to the left. Wide to the right is Eddie Bell. Bob Davis, the quarterback, 2nd and 10. Again, movement on the line. Flags go down. No play.
Game now going for us on the 3rd and 4th count, and the Baltimore Colts are becoming over-anxious.
Davis calls the play. Davis going back to pass for the first time. Davis throwing long for Rich Castor, and it is incomplete. Covering in the area was Rich Volk. Rick Volk covering and made a dive for the ball. It'll be third down, 5 yards to go for New York. Gary Arthur is down at tight end. He's set on the right side, wide to the left caster. Here's Davis being rushed and rushed hard. He's going to be hit behind the line. He's pulled down by Bubba Smith on the 37. Davis was trying to throw to Castor while he was falling, but thought better of it. Held onto the football, and Bubba Smith got him on the 37. So it's fourth down for the Jets. 12 yards to go, and the Colts fans give the defense a big hand. And they deserve it. Steve O'Neill back to do the punting. Ron Gardine is deep with Curtis up close for Baltimore. Here's the snap, and the kick is away. Driving downfield, and it's Gardine who will take the ball at about the 25. Gardine to the 30. Gardine to the 35, 40, 45. It's breaking into the clear. O'Neill, the only man, can stop him, and O'Neill finally knocks it out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. That's the second time today that Steve O'Neill, the punter, has had to make the tackle.
That solves my problem, Merle. He's the guy I talked to on the postgame show because I can't think of anyone else.
Don McCauley, the rookie from North Carolina, now in the backfield. Bulaich takes the handoff, hammers inside the 10-yard line about the 9. Elliott and Palmer make the tackle. One of the outstanding offensive linemen today has been John Williams, who has really done his job at right guard.
Really amazing to see Unitas out there having come back so quickly from that Achilles tendon operation.
McCauley and Bulaich, a handoff to Bulaich. Into the left side he goes, banging inside the 5 to the 3. Al Atkinson and Gus Holloman on the tackle. But it was Holloman who had to do the job there. And again, Williams opening a hole, and Norm Bulaich getting a standing ovation as he comes to the sideline for Baltimore. That goal record stood for a long time and now belongs to Bulaich. Alan Amici was the previous record holder. I formation. Nottingham is in the backfield. There's a handoff to McCauley. Dives over the line for a first down. He might even be close to a touchdown. He is close. Don McCauley, who broke rushing records of his own last year at North Carolina. Grantham made the tackle. It'll be first and goal to go on the 1. Don McCauley rushed for 1,720 yards in his career to break O.J. Simpson's record, which was 1,709. Don McCauley in the backfield with him. Unitas calls the play. Johnny Yu takes the snap and bumps into Nottingham, who fumbles the ball, picks it up. Now he's running around his own left end. He is knocked off his feet by Grantham. He almost had a touchdown. What a collision with Nottingham and Grantham. He lost a couple of yards, but he almost had a touchdown, and Grantham knocked him off his feet with a block. Second down, goal to go, about the 2 to 2.5. The Colts in an eye, Nottingham close, McCauley deep in the eye. Unitas calls it. Johnny Yu hands off to McCauley, dives for the end zone, and he is stopped at about the 1. Don McCauley is pulled down by Atkinson, by Paul Crane, who is now in the ball game. Third down and goal to go on the Jet 1-yard line. 4 minutes, 36 seconds left. Wide receivers out both ways. Unitas calling signal. McCauley on the wing to the left. Unitas to pass, throws for the end zone, incomplete. It was intended for John Mackey, the tight end. That's Unitas' first pass attempt, and now it's fourth down. Fourth down and goal to go. And the Colts will go for it. O'Brien staying on the sideline. The Colts are leading 22 to nothing. Mitchell is out there along with McCauley. He's coming back into the slot. Nottingham, the running back. Unitas to pass. Unitas looks. He throws into the end zone. Hits the goalpost. Incomplete. And Unitas gets belted by Roger Finney. Al Atkinson was back covering in the area. The ball's the goalpost. And the Jets take over on their own 2-yard line. They have stopped the Colts. And the Jets have the ball deep in their own territory. And with 4:07 to play, there's a timeout on the field. The score is Baltimore 22 and New York nothing. And along with him is rookie Steve Harkey. Bob Davis at quarterback. George Wright is down as a defensive tackle for Baltimore. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Bob Davis calls the play. Davis on the snap, goes back to throw. Billy Newsome trying to get to him. Here's a screen set for Harkey. Harkey at the 20. Harkey at the 25. And Harkey spins and turns to the 30-yard line. Finally pulled down by Mike Curtis of the Baltimore Colts along with Roy Hilton. So that's the first down on a 10-yard pickup. Steve Harkey, who had a fine preseason record and made the ball club right before the last cut. Bob Davis going back to pass, throwing long for Eddie Bell, and Charlie Stoops back covering, incomplete. The ball sailing all the way to the 20-yard line. Now it'll be a 2nd and 10 on the 30-yard line of New York. Rex Kern is now the defensive secondary for Baltimore. Wide to the left is Castor, to the right is Bell. Clifford McLean and Steve Harkey are the setbacks. Bob Davis backpedaling to throw, and he is in trouble. He is running out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Castor. Roy Hilton putting the chase on Bob Davis. 3rd down and 10 on the Jet 30. We're down to 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the game. Dominated by the Baltimore Colts, and particularly by Norm Bulaich, who set a new Colt rushing record today with 198 yards, breaking the old mark by Alan Amici. Castor going to the left and Eddie Bell to the right. Davis calls the play for New York. Bob takes the snap, goes back to pass on 3rd and 10. He throws a screen to Harkey. Harkey at the 30. Harkey at the 35. Gets a real rough tackle from Ted Hendricks. A necktie job. Now it's 4th down and 5. Big Ted Hendricks, who goes 6'7", weighs only 215, but has tremendous range and is very strong, surprisingly strong. Ron Gardine is going deep as Steve O'Neill comes back to kick on a 4th down and 5, and we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game. O'Neill has kicked well today, averaging about 45 yards. Here's the snap. O'Neill puts it in the air, but he gets off a bad one. Off the side of his foot, it's out of bounds. Over in the Baltimore side, somewhere in the vicinity of the 45-yard line in Colt territory. Nottingham and McCall setbacks. Here's a handoff to Nottingham. He goes banging into the middle and is pulled down by Lomas and Atkinson. Dennis Nelson hoping to hold the left side. The ball is now spotted on the 49-yard line, a gain of 3. The Colts are leading 22-0. Wide to the left, and we have a whistle blowing for the 2-minute warning. So Haverlack is in for Hinton. In motion to the right now is Jim O'Brien, the kicker, who is also a wide receiver. A handoff to McCauley. McCauley swinging to the right, makes his cut, comes back up the middle, has big yardage down into Jet territory, finally dumped on the 42-yard line by Sowles and by Holloman. So the Colts keep running that football. We're down to a minute 43 remaining. A 1st down for Baltimore. Johnny Yu running the Colts this quickly. A 9-yard pickup by Don McCauley, the North Carolina star, in his rookie season with the Colts. Wide receivers out both ways. A handoff to McCauley. McCauley hit, breaks a tackle, and slides across the 40 to the 39. Mark Lomas finally gets him down. Now we're down to a minute 12 seconds, and the Colts are ahead 22-0. Unitas, the quarterback. Johnny Yu on 2nd and 7 takes the snap, goes back to throw. The rush is on, drops way back, throws the screen. It's caught by Nottingham, and Nottingham is pulled down by Al Atkinson for a loss in the play of about 5 or 6 yards, maybe more. Atkinson read that play well and went right for Mr. Nottingham, went right through the blockers and pulled him down on the 48-yard line of New York. Now we have 22 seconds left in the game, and the Colts have a 3rd down and 16 coming up. This might very well be the last play of the game if the Colts even decide to run it. We're down to 10 seconds. They look up at the clock, down to 7 seconds, to 6, to 5, and this ought to do it. Down to 3, to 2, and everybody starts walking away. There's the gun, and the ball game is over. And so the ball game has come to an end, and the final score, the Baltimore Colts 22, the New York Jets nothing. Now let's take a 60-second jet break for this announcement.